Don't focus so much on what you don't have or what you can't do. You can do anything. Hello guys, my name is Amari Kalia and I'm here with another video. If you're new to my channel, I post health content, I post my fitness journey, and I also post like meal ideas, nutrition facts, things like that, anything involving my health journey. And then I also post self-development content. So if that is the type of content you want to see, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you guys like and comment on this video because there will be more to come. So it is about to storm, I think, so if it gets a little dark, I do apologize. I will turn on the light, but yeah, just wanted to throw that in there. So today I wanted to talk about how to transform your mind and to become a positive person. We live in a very negative world that focuses on all of the bad things, all the gossip, all the drama, all the news, and it's very hard to thrive in an environment like that, especially if you live in an environment that's very negative and toxic. It's very hard to have a positive mindset and a positive outlook on life. So I just wanted to talk about some things that I have been doing to change my mindset and to try to focus on the greater things of life and not really ponder on the negative things, whether that's personally or just from a worldly perspective. I feel like when people look at the world as in like an overview, like it can just seem so negative because of all the terrible things that are going on. And then also you top that with the negative things that are happening in your life. It's kind of hard to have a positive outlook on anything. And we don't understand how detrimental that is to our journeys, our success, and just our everyday like coping mechanisms. We don't understand what that does to it. So I just wanted to tell you guys some things that I have been doing, and I've been pondering on this for about 2 weeks now. I had this idea like 2 weeks ago and I wrote down my ideas, but I actually wanted to really ponder on it, and I actually have had a couple experiences that have allowed me to use some of the tools that I'm going to share with you guys. So just keep watching to hear more. So the first thing I want to say is you should definitely be on some type of healing journey while or before you try to change into a positive mindset. It's kind of hard to be positive when you are still hurt from things that have happened to you in the past, whether that's from your childhood, from relationships, from friendships, from even your career. You should definitely be trying to heal through those things because that will also help you on your journey to have a more positive mindset. I just wanted to throw that in there. I started my healing journey almost 2 years ago, and I have already seen so many differences in my life, but now that I am trying to change my mindset to be more positive, I can definitely see that me going through that healing journey first has helped me or is helping me while I'm on this journey to have a more positive mindset. So the first thing that I want to say is to don't feed into negativity, and that's a very broad statement, so let me break it down. Don't feed into drama, gossip, negative situations. It's so easy to get pulled into all of these things. I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my mind. Like, don't follow the shade room or any of those like sites on social media that talks about negative things when it comes to celebrities. They do post some positive things, but at the end of the day, it's all negative, and you shouldn't want to see like negative things or bad things that are happening in people's lives. Although we live in a world where bad things, which I'm going to explain that term later, but you know, bad things do happen to us in life. That's life. We go through challenges so we can grow and become better, but at the end of the day, no one should want to see those type of things. So unfollow the shade room, stop searching up the page. And I say that because I followed the shade room and then I unfollowed them, but then I would still search for their account every time I got on Instagram. So I stopped doing that a long time ago, and I love the fact that I don't know anything going on with celebrities. Anytime I see somebody that I follow post anything about celebrities, they get unfollowed. Oh wow, it is about to storm and I was gonna go running after this. Excuse that. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I unfollow people who post anything having to do with celebrities, especially if it's negative, because those celebrities honestly don't care about us, and I think it's insane that we obsess over celebrities, especially the negative things that happen in our lives. I don't think that that's something that we should be focused on, especially being that they're in a different tax bracket. They have reached levels that we have not yet reached, and we should be trying to reach our idea of success. And so let's not focus so much on negative things that are happening in anyone's life, but especially celebrities. Family gossip, that's like probably the main thing that you probably indulge in on a daily basis. Stop doing it. And this is something that I have been practicing. You know, when people call me about things, I just say, oh, okay, or, you know, I don't really give too much into the conversation, but now I'm feeling myself getting to where I just tell people like, hey, I don't want to talk about that. Like, I don't want to gossip. I don't want to, you have to set up that boundary, and you have to let people know right then, because at the end of the day, that'll show you who they are in your life and what they provide for you or what they bring to the table. If they can only call you with gossip, you probably need to cut off that person, because that shows that that person is very invested into negative things. If people can't call you with something positive, with ideas, with, you know, progression or anything like that, you probably shouldn't be really associated with them that much, even if it's family. I'll give you guys another example of not feeding into a negativity in a different way. So I was getting a service done a week ago for my birthday, and the girl that was doing the service, she was telling me about, you know, her partner's problems or whatever. And she wanted to talk about her boyfriend's ex, and she pulled up pictures of the ex, and she kept saying like, she's so ugly, like, isn't she ugly? And I never once said yes, she's ugly, because me personally, God is looking at me at all times. I don't want to just be a child of God for the internet or for when I'm reading the Bible. I actually want to practice those laws and principles that are in the Bible. And so I believe that he's watching me at all times. So I want to do my best to show up as that person that he wants me to be. With that being said, no, I'm not going to sit here and say that this lady is ugly. Although she doesn't know that I'm saying that, I still don't feel right saying it. And that could have been an opportunity for me to, girl, yes, she ugly or da-da-da-da, but I didn't do it. So what I did was, so she showed me one picture of the girl, and she was like, she's so ugly. And I just kind of like laughed it off. I didn't say anything. And then she showed me a different picture, and she was like, oh, she looks worse in this picture. And I was like, well, I actually like this picture. I was like, I think the way the picture was took, you can tell that like the sun was hitting her. So like there was like a glow. So I was like, you know, I think she actually looks pretty on this picture. Like, I love how her skin is glowing. And then she had her hair like in a different hair color. So it, like, honestly, it was a pretty picture. And either way, I'm not the person to say that whether somebody is ugly or pretty or not, but I genuinely thought it was a pretty picture, and I just felt like she really wanted somebody to agree with her to say that the girl was ugly, but I wasn't going to be that person. But that is another way of how you can avoid feeding into negativity. To her, she might not have seen it as something negative, but to me, that was very negative. And I think that we all probably have our own perceptions of what negativity is, but for me, that was a way for somebody to deflect and make something not about them. And it made her feel better to say that this woman was ugly, but to me, that's not the type of lifestyle that I want to live. So stay away from negativity, situations, like things that happen in life, or if somebody is telling you something that's negative, don't feed into it. Do your best to not feed into it. Change the conversation, you know, bring up something that's positive, or try to find a positive in whatever that situation is. You know, we love to ponder on things that are negative. We love to complain. We love to really go into the deep end about negative things, but honestly, it don't do anything for us. It does us no good. So the first thing, don't feed into negativity. Okay, so the next thing, start and end your day with positivity. Once you wake up in the morning, I believe the first thing that you put your eyes on or your mind on is kind of a segue into how the rest of your day will go. It doesn't always have to be that way, but I think that how you start your day has a lot of power into how the rest of your day will go. So for me, for example, I wake up and I do my devotional every morning. And even if I don't get to like actually reading my Bible, I consistently have the Bible plans on my phone. So when I wake up, the first thing I don't check my messages, emails, social media. The first thing I do is do my devotional, because I'm getting that positive energy as soon as I wake up. As I start my day, I'm getting the word, I'm getting some affirmations from God, I'm getting some things to make me think. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a good way to start my day. Before I go to bed, I am trying to create a very steady night routine where I focus more on like self-care and mental health. So journaling, reading the word, meditating, praying, things like that are really good for my mind. Unplugging from editing videos, content, social media, talking on the phone, things like that. I want to try to use the last really 1.5 to 2 hours before going to bed to really just focus on my own mental well-being. So with that being said, the past few nights I've been journaling, just reflecting on my goals, reading the word, things like that, to really kind of like, you can reflect on the day, and then also just thinking about how are you going to move forward, how are you going to start your next day. And I think that having that routine set up will really help you to, one, just process things that, like, say for instance, for a night routine, I think it's a good idea to focus on something positive at night, because let's just say you had a bad day, you have problems at work or family drama going on, or you just naturally having a bad day. We all have them. I think that when you end it with something positive, even if you just do some affirmations or you listen to a 5-minute positive video, I think that it'll have a big impact on how you sleep and how you wake up the next day. I think there are so many ways that we are distracted and we are conform to be in these negative relationships and there's so much going on in our minds. And I feel like, at least when you're at home, your home should be your peace. I know sometimes that's not always the case depending on who you're living with and things like that. But let's just say in a perfect world, your home is your peace. I think that when you start in the morning with something that's very peaceful, positive, and then you end it off with something, positive and peaceful, I feel like you're manifesting that energy into your life to where, okay, I started my day off right, I'm finna finish it off right. Whatever come my way, I'm gonna find a way to get through it, get past it. You're building those habits and you're building that mentality of, I only want to be involved with positive things. I only want to be involved with things that are going to make me think about the good things of life, make me think about, progress, self-development, success. You don't want to really ponder on negativity too much, because it's going to happen. Negative things are going to happen no matter what. It's going to be challenges, tribulations. You're going to grieve over things, people. Life has its cycles. Life has its ways of humbling you and showing you things to, really build you into this person. But you got to find a way to cope through all of those things. So I think that having that habit of starting and ending your day with positivity will help you to just manage those things that happen in life, but also just a great way to start and end your day. Okay, so the third thing, I got 2 more after this. Develop a everything is happening in my favor mindset. This is kind of off of when I was talking about when things come, tribulations and things like that come your way, it's inevitable. We're in this world where once you become an adult, even as a kid, you go through things, but once you become an adult, you got to learn how to pay bills. You got to learn how to deal with relationships, job, it's just a lot that you have to deal with. But I think that we get so caught up in those things that we forget, or some of us don't even know that everything happens for our greater benefit, or everything happens for a reason. For instance, like, I feel like you not getting a job is really a way of God protecting you from that job. Now, when I look back on my life, I think about all those jobs that I applied for, I interviewed for, and for some reason I never got a call back, or they told me that I didn't get the job. Of course, right then and there, I'm like, dang, like, what was it about me that didn't allow me to get that job? But then, even if it's a few months down the line, weeks down the line, days down the line, maybe even years down the line, you realize, like, dang, like, God was protecting me from doing that because he had something greater for me. And even, like, I've heard people say different stories, like when they're in the car and, you know, they almost hit somebody, or, you know, there was an almost incident happen and they realized that down the road something else happened. And a lot of people would say things like, you know, I feel like that was God protecting me from this. I think that, you know, rejection is a form of protection, but then I also believe that everything that we go through is for a reason, even if it's something that is painful. You know, how we deal with things. I always say that the way you deal with things matters. Like how you deal with your problems, how you deal with challenges, tribulations that come your way determines how successful you will be. If you're able to pivot and you're able to really just fight through things, I think you'll realize that everything was happening to make you a better person, to make you a better friend, a better daughter, a better son, you know, whatever it is that you label yourself as. Everything that you go through is to help you become better at something. And so with that being said, change your mindset from looking at negative things into something that is positive. And that's really hard to do. I think that is one of the hardest things to do, because when bad things happen to us, it makes us emotional. You know, it affects our heart, our emotions, it affects our minds a lot. So it's hard for you to just make that flip, but it takes time and it takes a lot of energy, and that's why any journey that you go on, it takes time. You have to actually strive for it and work for it. So with that being said, just try to even if you have to really take time to assess it, maybe once a day or once a week, take a couple of things that happen to you within a week or within that day and literally try to sit down and write what is the blessing in it. And maybe you can just write down the situation. You know, if you're somebody who journals regularly, just write down what happened in that day. And then maybe 3 months down the line, if you're somebody like me who loves to go back and read stuff, maybe you'll go back 3 months later and be like, dang, like, now I know why this happened. You know, I think that's why it's important to journal. That's why it's important to pray and write things down, because you never know. You don't know right then sometimes, but, you know, when you write it down and you reflect on it, and you give it some time, you realize that something really happened for your benefit. Okay, the fourth thing is to practice gratitude. And this kind of goes with the third one. Just try to be grateful for everything. You know, we live in a world that's very materialistic, and they're always showing us things that are better, or, you know, always trying to get us to have more of life. And it always makes us feel like we're lacking something. And it also makes us feel like we need to go get, or become a hustler so we can get all of these things. But I think that when you practice gratitude and you really start to be grateful for everything that you have, and I'm talking about your body being healthy, you being able to walk, you being able to have a roof over your head, you having some clothes in your wardrobe, the money that you do have in your account, when you are grateful for those things, you start not to really care about having more. Like, and that's what I mean when I say true gratitude. True gratitude is really finding the blessing in everything that you have and not seeing it as, dang, I wish I had more of this. Obviously, life is limitless and there is an abundance of everything, but you can't have more if you can't even appreciate the little things that you have. So when it comes to shifting your mindset into being more positive, it's easy to look at you not having enough as a lacking mindset, which to me is a negative mindset to have. You want to even when you get to the top, you still want to be grateful for where you have been, and then also what you have in that moment, because I feel like even when you get to the top, you still want more. So change your mindset to always being grateful for things, always being grateful for those down seasons. Even if you're going through a season like the season I'm going through right now, like I'm having to work very hard, like when it comes to my content, you know, working my job, even though I decrease my hours, it's still time that I'm putting in. And just all the self-development things that I'm doing behind the scenes, like that's taking a lot of effort out of me, but I'm so grateful for this experience. It's teaching me a lot about myself. It's teaching me a lot about people, business, entrepreneurship, and just like how to be a good person. And because I'm reading a lot and I'm having a lot of conversations, and so I think that when you find the blessing in every single season that you're in, and every journey that you're in, and then you be grateful for everything that you have, once you get to the top, it'll last longer, because you know where you've been and you're going to learn how to maintain what you have. And then also it's just like when it comes to the changing your mindset to being more positive, like I said, it's very easy to focus on what you don't have, but don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. Use what you got to get to where you need to go, and everything else will be added on to you. You don't need to focus so much. When you focus so much on what you don't have, you're making an excuse, and you are stalling your progression. So just focus on having a grateful mindset, a grateful attitude. Wake up every morning, write a gratitude list, or before you go to bed, write a gratitude list, and just really take inventory of everything that's going on in your life, and be grateful for it. Okay, the last thing is to focus on the good things and practice affirmations. I never thought I would be the person telling people to do affirmations, but I have realized that we don't say powerful things about ourselves as often as we should. Like I said, we focus so much on negative things, and we consume so much negative content that it sounds weird to say, I am powerful, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am smart, I am abundant, I am grateful. It sounds weird saying those things because you don't see people saying that, and you don't hear people saying that. So when you practice those affirmations, you're speaking that positive energy into your life, and you are manifesting it. And so with that being said, when you do those things, you are putting that positive energy out there, and it's transforming your mind to think more positive. You know, when you're going through those times where you're working really hard, but you're also doing those affirmations, basically what that does is you are creating the energy that you are excited to do what you are doing, because you know that it's making you a powerful person, a smart person. Or on the flip side of that, you're doing it because you know that you are smart, you are powerful, you are intelligent, you're grateful, you're persistent, you're resilient. Like when you're doing those things, it allows you to embrace it more, because you know that you can only do those things if you are being the person that you want to be. So, you know, practice affirmations, but also focus on the good things of life. You know, like I was saying earlier, it's so easy to focus on the negative things of life. Focus on what you don't have. Focus on what somebody else doing. Like, it's so easy to do that because that's what everyone does. Once you start to focus on what you can control and what you want to change, you will start to see that you have more going on than you thought. You know, we put so much emphasis on what everybody else is doing, from celebrities to the people in our lives to co-workers. Like, it's so easy to go to work and be like, girl, did you hear about so-and-so? Did you see what so-and-so did? But it's just like, what did you do? What have you done today? You know, focus on what you need to do and where you are trying to go in life. And so when you do that, when you do focus on your own stuff and your own dreams and your own goals, you start to realize that, dang, I really got a lot of motion, as I like to say. I really got a lot going on. Like, if I keep staying the course and I keep doing this thing consistently and I keep having discipline, my life can change in 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. You know, whatever journey you're on will determine the time and then also how much energy that you put into it. But when we start to focus on the good things, be more grateful, and then another thing with focusing on the good things is, let's say one of your dreams is to have a mansion or a big house. Instead of focusing on, dang, I'm in this messed up apartment or this messed up duplex townhouse, whatever you want to call it, I'm renting this messed up house. How about you focus on the good things of life, and you go and you drive into a rich neighborhood full of mansions and houses and get some inspiration, get inspired, get motivated, get pumped up about what you see. Once you see, because me personally, I'm the type of person where when I see big houses and nice cars and you know, I see people traveling, because that's my dream, is to travel. Like, I love to travel, and my dream is to take like 1 to 2 years before I have kids and just travel the world. And so when I see other people traveling, I don't look at it like, ooh, like, how's she getting to travel? What's she doing to get her to travel? Or da 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 da. I don't do that. That's not me. I think like, dang, she went to Italy. Okay, what I need to do to be going to Italy? You get what I'm saying? Like, ooh, they got that big house. Okay, what do I need to do so I can get a house that looks similar to that? I want a pool in my backyard. I want an in-home gym. What do I need to do to have these things in my house? When you focus on the good things, the positive things, when I see people that's fit, I don't be jealous like, what's she doing in the gym to get fit? I look at it like, okay, I know I need to go harder so I can reach my fitness goals, because I can tell that she worked hard to reach her fitness goals. Focus on the positive things. Focus on the good things. Don't focus so much on what you don't have or what you can't do. You can do anything. Don't focus so much on what he said or she said. Focus on the good things and practice positive affirmations. Wake up, say that you are an entrepreneur, you are a successful YouTuber, you are a business owner, you are getting a promotion. Say those good things that you want to see happen in your life, because you're speaking that energy. And then also, once you start to speak that energy, it'll start to change your mindset and make you start thinking like, okay, what do I need to do those things or get to that lifestyle that I want to live? I hope this video makes some type of sense. I hope you guys can take some advice as to what I'm saying. These are all things that I have been doing in my life to really change my mindset. The number one thing for me is just staying away from negative energy, staying away from negative people, not feeding into negative conversations, negative situations. If anything bad, quote unquote, happens in my life, I'm like, okay, so how do I solve this problem? I'm a problem solver. I'm a solution-based person. I say that all the time. I think that we all need to try to develop that type of resilience and pivot through the things that we go through in life, because when you focus on the negative, you're going to create more negativity into your life. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.